This is Fountain
Every
Street
week I find
Church.
it hard to find the best ones, but somehow, like I said, you'll hear what I'm trying to say even when the words
Here,
aren't right.
we strive to free the mind, grow the soul, and change the world. Here, there is freedom to doubt and freedom to believe. Here, you can find a house of prayer for all people.
The swallow up Jonah.
Welcome to Fountain Street Church. Join us on the journey.
Who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water and feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. The peace of wild things. A peace that pulls me in, enfolds me, gives me joy and comfort, stirring the senses and staying the soul. As I follow wispy lines of clouds that caravan across the sky, as I wake gently to an early morning serenade of birdsong, as I breathe in deep, piney scents of old-growth forests, as I savor the earthy sweetness of a tomato just plucked from the vine, as I feel the seaside breezes blow salty kisses across my face, I not only come into the peace, I re-enter the world of wild things. Aren't we all wild things, you and I, evolving from the same ancestors as our furry and feathered and scaly friends? Every plant and animal and microorganism, all 1.7 million species that we've identified, the millions more yet to be discovered, and millions before them, born of the same chemical reactions and the same briny soup. Even now, after billions of years of adaptations, still sharing so much of the same genetic makeup, something like 98% with chimpanzees, 80% with pigs, 70% with sea sponges, and 50% with bananas. We all share a common origin, a common home, common resources, and the miracle of life, as long or as short a span as that may be. We are all participants in the slow, steady process of death and rebirth, collectively carrying on a timeless pattern, imbued with an inherent beauty, an ageless wisdom. At least we were. But by some miraculous turn of events, we evolved astonishing intellectual capacities and confounding emotional ones. Life come to consciousness with baggage. As I imagine it, we had been evolving through a long, fruitful process of observation and trial and error, living in community, observing and adapting to the local environment, following the laws of nature, playing well with others. But somewhere along the way, we became more self-aware. We became both incredibly inventive in our dealings with our surroundings and alarmingly alienated from them. It's as if our brute intelligence evolved too quickly and overpowered the more primitive parts of our brain, the parts that control our instinct and inherited wisdom. And now, no longer content to live by the rules, increasingly unaware of them, we defy them, we make up our own. We push the limits, take risks, ignore the consequences, and find ways to justify it. We seem to have lost our biological compass, if not our ethical one, buried under layers of fear, greed, insecurity, distracted by the lure of reality shows, consumerism, and technology. Even religion, supposedly our ultimate compass, too often reinforcing the need for superiority, domination, and materialism. And those consequences we're ignoring, as we dry up the rivers, we guarantee our thirst. As we level the mountaintops, we pollute our valleys. As we create chemicals in our labs, We accumulate toxins in our tissues. As we overfish and overfertilize and overgraze, we assure our grandchildren's hunger. As we pave and dredge and invade unspoiled ecosystems, we hasten mass extinctions, ignorant of what we've lost. As we drill, frack, and burn, fell rainforests and bleach coral reefs, as we purchase and discard our water bottles, we are changing the character of our oceans, their water levels, temperature, biological and chemical makeup, even their depth and direction of the currents. We are altering a resource that covers 70% of the Earth's surface and impacts every living species and system. In doing some research for a history series this spring, I learned some interesting and surprising facts about us, both despairing and hopeful. In a sense, the environmental movement and the need for it goes back some 8,000 years, virtually to the beginning of civilization, as we evolved from hunters and gatherers to farmers and merchants. 6,000 BC, deforestation caused the collapse of communities in what now is Israel and Jordan. In 2700 BC, the destruction of cedar forests in what is now Iraq caused soil erosion and salt buildup, devastating agriculture and contributing to the rise and fall of civilizations. 1500 BC, soil erosion contributed to the growth and collapse of Central American city-states. It has been proposed that the decline of the Roman Empire may have been partly due to lead poisoning, as Romans used lead acetate to sweeten old wine and turn grape pulp into condiment. By the end of the Middle Ages in Europe, there were severe shortages of food, fuel, and building materials since most of the primordial forests had been cleared. But there are also champions. 2700 BC, some of the first laws protecting the remaining forests were decreed in Ur. 2600 BC saw high levels of public health and citywide sanitation in the Indus River Valley. Around 600 BC, Judaism and Jainism, arising in India, emphasized vegetarianism and compassion for all creatures.